On this episode of The Cutting Room Floor, we're going to find out if Don't Listen on Netflix is worth the watch or a ghostly flop. Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome all you misfits and metalheads to the cutting room floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Rose Blood.
And today is Wicked Wednesday, so we're going to be bringing you another horror movie. What do we have for them today, Rose?
All right, guys. Right out of Madrid, Spain, we have Spanish horror film Don't Listen from 2020 on Netflix right now. This movie was really interesting. It caught me by surprise. I actually first heard about it because of TikTok. We saw a little clip from it and it looked really creepy and spooky. So we checked out the trailer on Netflix and we decided to give it a watch for the show. And boy,
I wasn't disappointed.
Were we happy that we did?
Good recommendation.
Yes, absolutely. So this movie is about a couple, Daniel and Sarah. And they have a son, Eric, that's, pretty young. He looks like he's like maybe, what?
I don't know. I can't even tell.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's young.
7 years old or something like that. He's a little kid, And, they move into this house. They're house flippers. They buy houses and then they renovate them and they sell them. So apparently their son, Eric, is having a little bit of trouble. He's just been having disruptive behaviors lately. So the movie starts off, they're kind of getting him to a therapist and stuff like that. They have like a little appointment and she's interviewing him and asking him questions. And then she's pretty much, as in most movies, dismissive of his concerns and his fears.
Always dismissive.
You know what? Why don't you just listen to your loved ones sometimes when they tell you creepy, weird shit is going on, and then these horrible things wouldn't happen.
They could just run, and they could move, they could do something. But you know what? Every time there's something supernatural or weird or spooky that happens, who does it happen to first? It's always the kids. Always the kids.
Yeah.
And nobody listens to the kids. I mean,
nobody won't listen.
Half the time I can't say they know what they're talking about either.
This
but
is true.
Still, when it comes to weird stuff, why are they making that weird stuff up?
Yeah.
That's what I gotta question sometimes.
Yep.
If it's a family member of mine, maybe I'm gonna listen. But also, I'm the type of guy that if I hear a noise over there, I'm gonna go the other way and not investigate it. So, that's why.
Yeah, a horror movie starring Thorn Black.
There wouldn't be a horror movie starring me.
He'd be like, I'm out. I'm
What's
done.
that? Gotta
Forget
go.
Forget this.
We
It's
invested
over.
all our money in the property. Too bad. Gotta go.
I'm out.
I don't know what to tell you.
So anyways, of course, weird stuff starts going on, unexplainable things, and things get pretty crazy pretty quickly, guys.
Little man's hearing voices.
Oh man,
the voices
things start
aren't
going
good.
Things go pretty nuts, and you're like, I was really surprised. The special effects in this film are great. All the practical effects and the special effects makeup is top notch, guys. So for those of you who are like me and just absolutely love to see really good special effects, practical effects, and theatrical special effects makeup, you're gonna dig this. There's some really cool moments in this thing. It's not like a constant pace of madness or anything like that.
Yeah.
This is a haunted, the ghost story, so it's not going to be super fast or anything.
Yeah, so you get little bits and then, they build it up again and then just have that eerie vibe going around. And then, of course,
this is in Spanish, guys, so you're going to want to watch it with subtitles unless you're bilingual and you can just do without them. Everybody's got that, because it's shot in Spain, everybody's got that Spain lisp to their Spanish. So if you're somebody like me who's Puerto Rican and Dominican, you're gonna be like, oh, that's a weird little accent you got there. I immediately was like, this has to be shot in Spain or someplace like that, because they had that kind of Castilian, like that weird lisp on the S's and stuff like that. But you get past it pretty quick and you get really immersed in this story and these characters. And
if you don't know Spanish, you're not going to tell anyway. Because,
exactly.
This guy right here, I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't tell. I don't hear it. It sounds the same. I'm a gringo. What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do?
So, this haunted spirit is pretty ruthless, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Pulling no punches.
Yeah.
Man, woman, child, old, young. It doesn't care. It's coming after you. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
You know?
This thing is like not messing around.
But you gotta respect a good horror story where across the board everybody can be a victim, you know?
True.
And yeah.
And yeah. Without spoiling
Don't
too
wanna-
much for you guys,
but-
we just want to tell you this is worth the watch. The special effects are well done. It keeps like an even pace. You know, there's not a lot of jump scares. I don't think.
Not tons of jump scares.
It's not like an American
there's-
movie where it's like constant jump scares. This is more about
There's a couple here and there,
this
but
is more about like that kind of. It's more about that creeping dread.
yeah,
You know,
that
you
creeping
really
dread
feel
is real in there.
Yeah, you really feel the atmosphere. This house is kind of like run down. You know, they're in the middle of renovating it. There's always like plastic tarps up, and they do good use with those plastic tarps of obscuring your vision. And you know, when certain things happen, you're like, you know, it reminded me a little bit of the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie used that kind of like the plastic tarp and people behind it or hidden in it or limbs sticking out of it and stuff like that in a cool way. And so did this one. There's some really cool like stuff where the ghosts are just messing with these people, and you know. And you're just like, oh man, this is bad news. You need to get the heck out of this.
Like, just get out of that house. What are you doing? I don't know. People hold on too long. Oh, I gotta go. Sorry.
Okay. So, you know, but everything makes sense. You know,
Yeah,
people
it makes sense.
do make like, you know, there's not a whole lot of, I mean, the dumbest decision is that they stay in this house.
In the house.
Because
Like,
this house is haunted of, you know.
Yeah. And then, you know, so they bring in a so-called specialist and do a little bit of EMF recording, and then you get a little bit of that, like, ghost huntery kind of, you know,
You
setting
get
up the
some ghost
cameras
hunting
and stuff.
action.
And that's it's pretty entertaining when they do that, and just what's going on with the cameras and the sounds and everything. I thought it was pretty cool. I was entertained. I used to really like those type of ghost hunter shows back in the day, like on Sci-Fi. I think that show was called Ghost Hunters.
Just like that show True Seekers. Whenever I find something that's any kind of ghost hunting, I'm always excited to watch it with Thorn Black, because that's one of his favorite like kind of type stories of these ghost hunters kind of getting theirs, you know. And these ones certainly do. The ghost hunter's name is Ramón, and his partner is actually his daughter Ruth, and she basically runs all the equipment. She is the skeptic, and her father is, you know, a believer, and he's looking for answers. He has dedicated his life to researching the paranormal. He wants to know, you know, what is on the other side, but he is not convinced that what's on the other side is any kind of good, which is good for him, because it, you know, it prepares him for what's coming up.
At least he's a little wary.
He is wary about the other side and reaching that other side.
You should be wary when you're doing stuff like that. 'Cause you don't know what you're gonna run into. Come on.
So I thought that was really well done. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the couple that does like the, you know, the Amityville horror kind of stuff, you know, where I mean, where they have exactly.
Yeah.
So it reminded me of them a little bit, except that the daughter is totally skeptical and does not believe in any of this stuff, even when things start to get a little cuckoo nuts, and she's just like still trying to cling to, you know, her idea of what reality is, and her dad's like, yo, did you not just see what I just saw? Because,
but that ghost
you know,
is that ghost's gonna make her a believer, all right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That ghost doesn't have any chill. I have to say.
No, this ghost has no chill. This ghost has no chill at all.
It likes to not necessarily get you right away. And
yeah, this ghost takes its time.
Yeah, it
this
likes
ghost
messing
takes its
with you
time.
before
It likes
it
to
gets
mess with people. It likes to torture people.
It's gonna get you. It's
nasty.
Pretty bad.
It's a nasty ghost. So, with all of that being said, Thorn Black, how would you rate this film?
I'm gonna give this one solid 4 out of 5 chainsaws.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty evenly paced. It's not like just in your face all the time, but it's a pretty cool pace. Like
it's
throughout,
also not as
so it's
slow
still
as
engaging.
Things like Hereditary and Witch and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's definitely got a faster
those
pace.
Those were a little too slow for my taste. I couldn't get into them as much just because, you know, I'm just a little bit quicker of a pace. So I found the pace of this a little bit more even. A lot of spookiness. throughout, and voices and this and that going on and stuff.
This made me think more of like stuff like The Conjuring and things like that, where there's still a good amount of action and things going on.
And then later on in the movie, stuff picks up even more, and it's even more entertaining to watch because there's just a lot of stuff happening all at once, and I enjoy that.
All right.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna give it?
What am I gonna give this one? You know what? I am actually gonna give it a 4 as well. I can't give it a 5 because it's like a little bit slower pace. I wouldn't necessarily watch this movie another time, but I did really enjoy it the entire time.
Yep, exactly.
I thought the acting was great. I thought it was filmed really well. I thought all of the practical effects were magnifique. They were really good. I really just enjoyed all of them. And and the kid that is Eric, the child actor, is actually a decent actor. He's he's not annoying as I often find children to be in films. He's just going through like something crazy, and everybody is just kind of dismissing what's happening to him.
As they do when kids say they see a ghost or something.
Exactly. Everybody just kind of brushes, his concerns aside.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the parents are believable to me. They have good chemistry together, and they seem like parents and stuff. And the dad is kind of just wrapped up in his work, and the mom is doing mom stuff the whole time, but also trying to renovate the house with him. And she's kind of really troubled by what's going on with her kid, and really concerned and trying to get the dad more involved. It very much, they feel very believable. I really liked Ramón, the ghost hunter guy. He's not put out there as kooky at all. He is very much very serious about what he believes, and he's very serious about figuring out what's going on, and he's passionate about it. And it makes sense. I feel like in a lot of films where they feature a ghost hunter, they're always either conniving, or they are, they're either tricking everybody, or they're, some kind of goofy, or, so they have some kind of weird quirk to them or something like that. And he's not like that at all. He's very serious and straightforward, and this is what he really believes, and he wants to know more, which is why when things start to go crazy, he sticks around, even though it starts to get really dangerous, because he really needs to he wants to know. He has that passion of I need to know what's going on and what's waiting for us on the other side. Turns out it's pretty messed up. So that's all we've got
Moral
for
of
you
the story
today.
is, if you get a haunted house, maybe just move.
Maybe just move.
Maybe just move.
Just sell that.
Because
just get out of there.
This guy would have been out of there.
Out. Haunted AF. All right? This house was haunted AF. Just get out of there. Don't stay in that house.
Please like and subscribe. We are going to be moving to 1 episode a week for the time being, because it's kind of a bit much to do 2 episodes and settling into our new place and trying to get some music out for you guys. So we're just going to back off on 2 episodes a week, at least for the time being, while we start getting the rest of that set up and ready to go. And if you really want 2 episodes a week, just let us know in the comments, and also let us know what you thought about this movie.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us every week. We have tons more of awesome anime and horror to share with you guys. We are passionate about this, and we hope that you will take the time to like and subscribe, sign up for our mailing list on our website, and you'll get some free music. And our website is cutlikethismusic.com. Until next time.
That's all for us today. We are out.